folks, how's it going? This is Iron Seagull here, and happy Throwback Thursday. We're doing another rankings video, another tier list, and this time it's going to be about The Sims 1. I figured it would make sense to do, since with the month of February, it's still the anniversary of the very first Sims game, so this is interesting just seeing, like, after doing other tier list videos where there's like 10, 20, 30 things. But yeah, I thought this would be something nice to do, and a bit more relaxed too, because I'm still recovering from all the Splatoon 3 and Mario Golf hype from the Nintendo Direct. I actually did do a live stream for that over on my Twitch channel, but yeah, Sims 1. It's about time I do some sort of like rankings video for The Sims 1, so yeah, this is it, The Sims 1, your DLC ranking tier list maker. And this one is made by Dom21032002. Alright, so let's get started with the rankings. I actually did modify this a little bit from the original because there were 5 tiers, but for as few things as we're ranking, I don't think we really need that many. It's just not necessary. So I left best and okay there, and I changed worse to not as good lol because it's just like, I don't think any of the packs for The Sims 1 are bad necessarily. I just think there's some that aren't as good as the others. So let's get started. They actually are arranged in the order of release too, which is good. So we're gonna start right with Live in Large, and well, that's gonna go not as good lol. So Live in Large was the first expansion pack ever for The Sims, and it's I guess it was like mostly objects, but it had some gameplay too. Like we got the aliens, we got the genies, the zombie, and the Grim Reapers there on the cover too. Oh no, oh yeah, of course, the servo. Yes, the servo also appeared in Live in Large. So there are definitely like a bunch of sort of like NPC sort of characters, but the later expansion packs were a lot better than this. So something had to go on the bottom, and Live in Large definitely would go there. So House Party, I'm kind of torn, and actually around the time House Party came out was when I was introduced to The Sims from one of my family friends. But, man, it's just like, I like House Party more, I think. It's just, I still think it goes in that tier of not as good because, yeah, all these other ones, man, they really just stepped it up. But House Party, it's basically what it says on the tin, where it's about throwing parties at your house because you couldn't leave the house yet. And Drew Carey appeared as a celebrity cameo if your party was really good. And the mime was there on the box art because if your party was going really horribly, then Z-Mime would show up and make things even worse, which was interesting. And there's also where Chip the Party Dancer came from. It was featured as one of the things in the last tier list video I did. And yeah, there's like even the dance cages and stuff, and some really cool music too. I love the techno music that came with The Sims House Party. But let's move on to The Sims Hot Date. So this is where The Sims just really started to get, I mean, The Sims already was a pretty interesting game for its time, but Hot Date, yeah, that's where things like just went up like another whole level, because that was when we could leave the house. It's funny we could leave the house, because in The Sims 1, you were always just surrounded by like a void, and you couldn't visit other Sims' houses. You could invite other Sims to visit you at your house, but you couldn't do it the other way around. But yeah, with Hot Date, this is when we could go to the downtown sub-neighborhood, and we could go on, well, hot dates. I'm sure a lot of you could relate to this who played the original Sims at the time, because for me, I was actually 11 going on 12, so my parents, when they heard about this and I was like, hey, I want this, they were like, is this appropriate for kids your age? And maybe slightly not, but I think, I mean, yeah, the title implies much more risque stuff than what's there. So, I mean, they caved and got it for my birthday anyways, and I still remember when I first loaded up the downtown, I was like, whoa, it's so good looking. And I think that was when we got interest. Yeah, I think that's when we got the interest system, and you could affect that with the magazines you could buy from the magazine stands. Oh man, remember when print magazines were like the thing? Yeah, reading Nintendo Power and all that. But yes, Hot Dates. It did so much cool stuff. Like, yeah, the Hot Dates downtown and all of the like gameplay objects. There's like the picnic basket. There was the pond where you could like rent a remote control toy boat, and there was some other stuff I don't remember. Restaurants. Oh my gosh, how did it take me this long to mention the restaurants? Yeah, the restaurants were cool. We also had like beach lots, though we couldn't swim in the ocean, unfortunately. But yeah, that was part of the downtown too. And overall, just wow, like to put this any lower than the best tier would not be doing Hot Date its due recognition, because heck yes. So Vacation, I don't know if I put it in best, to be honest. I don't think it was bad, but it's definitely above like House Party and Living Large. So I think this is the one that's actually going to go into okay. So that was the first time we could actually take our Sims on vacation. They could go to Vacation Island, which was basically split up into 3 climates somehow. So you did have like the beach part, which I liked a lot. I loved like that big lot with the hotel on it by default. That was where I went like almost every time. And then there's also just kind of like the more, I guess you could say, like neutral part, where I compare it to Grand Falls in The Sims 4 or Three Lakes and Bon Voyage in The Sims 2. That's basically that, the sort of like wooded part, camping, that sort of thing, going camping in tents. So there's that, and then also there was the snow part where you could go like snowboarding on a half pipe or go down a little snow slide and curl up by the fireplace. So overall a fun time, but I don't know if it quite stands out as much as Hot Day. Oh yeah, and the carnival games. I still really want to see that sort of like carnival game system return in The Sims 4. I think that would be awesome. There was even one of the carnival games where it actually featured like, it was whack-a-mole, but you bonk Will right on the head, the creator of The Sims, instead of Mole. So that was pretty interesting. Oh yes, Sims Unleashed, the god tier of Sims expansion packs, in my opinion. So I'm gonna actually put this. Let me put this in front. There we go. So Sims Unleashed is not just my favorite Sims 1 expansion. I think it's just my favorite Sims expansion pack ever. Like, this is just the gold standard of what expansion packs should be. It affected the core game so much. Because, yes, like, pets is the main point of the expansion pack, but they did not stop there. They expanded the neighborhood to, I guess you could say, like, about triple the size of the, like, original Sim neighborhood. And, yeah, there was also, like, there was some other side stuff, like the coffee cart and some really interesting, like, New Orleans themed furniture. And there were a lot of small pets too, besides like the cats and dogs, and there were the pet shows for the cats and dogs. Just overall, such a good time. I was so excited for this one, and actually I just remembered how with Vacation and Unleashed, like I remember before Vacation was announced, I was coming back from a vacation with my family in Costa Rica, and I was like, oh man, I'd love to have a Vacation expansion pack for The Sims. And then, well, soon enough, I heard about Vacation being announced, and then after that I was like, oh, it would be so great if my Sims could own a cat or a dog. And well, then Unleashed got announced. It's like they were reading my mind even back then, even though I wasn't like posting on the BBS or anything like that. But yeah, man, Sims Unleashed, I can't say enough about this. Such a good expansion pack. Alright, Superstar. So I guess we're down to the fan faves here, because I think the most popular, I would say, with the Sims community in general is Superstar or Making Magic. I guess it's pretty divided depending on like whether you prefer realistic gameplay or supernaturals. But Superstar, I would say, is my second favorite. So we're gonna put that there. Yeah, Superstar. Pretty awesome. Has some of my favorite music in the whole game. I'm not sure how you'd even describe it. I guess just kind of like glammy. Glam music. Superstar was interesting. That was basically our first introduction to active careers, because what you do to become a celebrity is you have to basically go to Studio Town, and there are like 3 different careers of sorts to become famous. Like, you could become a famous actor, you could participate like in music videos, become famous that way, and there's also the fashion runway. Yes! Man, we haven't had that since The Sims 1, have we? Yeah, not really. I mean, sure, there's the fashion photography freelance career in The Sims 4 Moschino stuff, but that's not quite the same. So, Superstar was really fun. It was so hard, though. It was extremely difficult, because The Sims 1 is very challenging to play, just keeping up all your motives. But then with I don't think I ever got to 5 stars. I think the closest I got was 4.5 maybe, but I think it might have just been 4 that I reached. Because, yeah, it's it's not just the motives, it was just like the gameplay itself at times. You had to kind of like memorize certain choices and things. But there was also spas, from what I remember. Yeah, there was like spas in Superstar. And there's even like that sort of like gossip newspaper where it would show like the 10 most famous Sims. And I remember I played with Michael Batchelor a lot, and I actually got him. I can't remember how far I got him up the list, but he was in there. So that was a really cool thing to see actually like reflected in the news. And alright, so last but certainly not least, we have Making Magic. I think I'll put this above Hot Date as well. Not my favorite, but still really great. Even though at the time I wasn't really into supernatural stuff when I was a kid. I don't know. But even though I still like read the first couple of Harry Potter books, but Making Magic is definitely one of my favorite sort of like magic-related packs in the whole franchise. I think they did that really well, and I love the magic duels. The magic duels are definitely my favorite version, where you actually like get up onto like there's like a platform, and then there's like the other side opposing it, and then on the fly you actually have to choose the element of magic, because it's kind of like Pokemon in a way, where it's like certain ones are stronger, certain ones are weaker. So yeah, it was kind of interesting. It was like a best out of 3 if I remember correctly, and yeah, I just found that so much more fun than just watching my Sims duel and hope that my Sim wins. I loved having some control in there. I really wish they had done that in Realm of Magic, but nope, it's just like more like skill dependent. But of course, Bonehilda, the iconic Bonehilda, who finally made her return to The Sims 4 recently. Thanks, Plumbella. And actually, the main reason I still wanted Making Magic back in the day was because of the mini golf courses that were included. So we haven't really had that as fleshed out as it was in Making Magic back then. And even in Making Magic, it was still just plopping down like 4 or 5 different holes. You couldn't really organize the order or anything like that. So hopefully we could get a more like in-depth version sometime in The Sims 4, Sims 5, whenever. And there's also the carnival rides, where it's not exactly a roller coaster. It sort of is. You're just like in a sort of roller coaster cart, and you're like going along these rails, and then there's certain parts where like there's like funny contraptions, and your Sims would be taken for a ride. That was the other reason I wanted Making Magic as well. Yeah, Magic Town was really cool. You could even move there. That was the only sub-neighborhood you could move to in The Sims 1, and I think I did do that eventually, because you could earn these things called magic coins by doing things around Magic Town, because there were like some quests from some NPCs. Like there was a fairy, there was a vampire, although I don't remember, I guess the vampire was a quest one, but I don't remember. But I do remember the fairy, because there was one with clouds you had to get rid of. I had such a hard time with it. Oh, right, and also there's an Easter egg where yeah, there's a magic beanstalk that you could grow, and then if you climb up the beanstalk, the giant is actually Will Wright, just sleeping. That was a really cool thing to put in, especially considering Making Magic was the final expansion pack for The Sims 1. So yeah, Making Magic, what a note to end The Sims 1 on. That was super cool. But wow, yeah, I guess that basically wraps it up for my rankings of The Sims 1's packs. So let me know where you would rank these in the comment section below. I'd especially love to hear from those of you who actually did get to play The Sims 1 when it was the newest Sims, like I did. Because I started playing The Sims not like day one. I started playing about a year after it came out, because like I said earlier, it was like House Party was the latest expansion when I was introduced to it. And when I bought it for myself, and then Hot Date came out not too long after. It's a good time to get into The Sims, for sure, since it was just about to make that big transition to being able to leave the house. But yeah, I'm just gonna wrap this up here. So be sure to subscribe if you want to keep up with my latest gaming content from life simulation games and more. But I will talk to you all later, and have a great day. Thanks for watching! I guess Mimiko's favorite would be Sims Vacation, even though there weren't seagulls in there. But the beach!